Terence Crawford, Shawn Porter, will they fight? Purse bid coming the first week of September. Let's talk about it. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Throw a like on the video. It goes a long way. Listen, guys, it goes a long way when you guys throw a like on the video to identify this content as something that others could be looking for in the world of boxing. My name is Ego. I'm your host. This is your one-stop shop for all your boxing needs. So please throw a like on the video, leave a comment, subscribe. Those things help exponentially. Now, The Athletic says, learn by The Athletic that the purse bid for the Terence Crawford, Shawn Porter WBO welterweight title fight will be conducted September 2nd at noon Eastern, WBO offices in Puerto Rico, if no deal is struck before then. So that's the latest update. Some people wanted to know what the update was. Will the fight happen between Porter and Crawford? I guess we'll have to wait and find out. Want to give my thoughts. So in case you live under a rock, the WBO ordered that Terence Crawford and Shawn Porter need to negotiate a fight. They had an open period to do that. If a deal was not struck by, I think it was August 24th, then it would go to a purse bid. For some reason, they pushed it back to September 4th. They got like a 10-day extension or whatever. And that's where we're at. No updates, no real word, no mention of what's good, but they haven't struck a deal to our knowledge publicly. To me, I'm not holding my breath for this fight to happen because boxing, they do this. You guys got to understand, I've been in the game for a long time. So I've seen it. I've been here before. I'm a veteran when it comes to this. If you as a fan get excited every time you hear news that sounds good, Crawford versus Porter, that's an amazing fight. It's a good fight. I would buy the fight. I think it's an excellent fight. But again, you can't just be fooled and you would hold your breath till you're blue in the face waiting for some of these fights. Just because a fight gets ordered doesn't mean it'll happen. You know, that's like you like a girl or you love a girl, and just because you like or love that girl, that doesn't mean she's going to reciprocate and love you back or have an attraction to you. And boxing is no different. And boxing has a lot of politics. Recently with Eddie Hearn, he's talking about John Ryder is supposed to fight David Morrell. One of them are the mandatories. He's talking about pulling John Ryder to fight Dimitri Bivol instead of fighting who he's mandated to fight, which is David Morrell. And this is at least the second time. So I'm not holding my breath for no Crawford Porter, despite it being a good fight. Because look, ESPN, July 21st of this year. What does it say? WBO orders welterweight title fight for Terence Crawford and Shawn Porter, right? So as far back as July, they've ordered the fight, and literally it sounds like very little progress has been made. Crawford said, "I've been begging for real challenges for years," Crawford told ESPN. "All the so-called elite welterweights have shown no interest in fighting me," which is not true. Keith Thurman, he says you got to get from Bob, but he's showed interest. And Bomac was the one that did an interview with TBV, and Bomac literally said, "Keith Thurman ain't got no damn belt." He said, "Why should we fight Keith Thurman? They'll just say he was injured and things like that." So that's not a correct statement from Crawford. Errol Spence, he said he's going to clean up his side of the street and he would love to fight Crawford, right? So Danny Garcia also said he would fight Crawford. He just said he got $3 million versus Rod Salka, so they're not going to shortchange him and not pay him what he's worth, etc. Says now one of them is finally being forced to. Shawn Porter is not being forced to. He and Kenny Porter have said they wanted to fight. There's an interview you can find with Kenny Porter where he depicts going into he's in Las Vegas. He says he went into the Las Vegas top-ranked offices to talk to Bob Arum directly about making the fight. So I don't know what Crawford is referring to. He said, "I'll show you once again why I'm the best pound for pound in the world." Again, this was an article when the news was fresh. This was in July, and we still haven't heard anything about them fighting, the date. And listen, it doesn't always work like this, but I would imagine, you know, if you're a promoter, you would want to, in most cases, avoid the purse bid, because the purse bid, there's certain rules. And if you have a promoter boxing license and you bid within a certain parameter, like once you reach a certain threshold, let's say $500,000, like the bid might have to be over 500,000 or whatever the case is, right? And once you meet those criterias, then the fight is available or eligible to anyone who has the highest bid and can produce, you know, they have to probably put a deposit down or whatever and produce the money. So it's just like selling your car in the classifieds. Anybody who wants this Mustang is eligible if you can show funds and proof of funds and you want the car and you make contact before other people and you have the best offer. Similar, right? So the reason most people would want to avoid that is because Terence Crawford is running out of options. The walls are closing in. He's with ESPN. Last time we heard from Bob Arum, his current promoter, he was listing names like Jose Zepeda for Crawford. And he really should have lost his last fight to Hank Lundy, which is ironically a guy Crawford beat years ago. So he doesn't have many options. Despite Crawford the other day, after Ugas beat Pacquiao, Crawford made tweets. I made videos about it. Check that. And he said something like, Errol Spence, I guess he needs me after all. That's not true. I don't think he does need you. You know what I mean? I'm not saying the fight's not a good fight. We know it's a good fight, but he doesn't need you. He has more options available to him than you have the other way around, right? So we'll see. We'll see how this all plays out. Porter fight's a good fight, but I'm not excited and getting my hopes up. They're talking about a purse bid. Again, most times, most cases, I think you would want to negotiate the terms of the fight and structure the fight amicably as opposed to going to purse bid. However, you know, at the end of the day, I guess playing devil's advocate, Crawford's supposed to be a free agent in October. So maybe they want to force a purse bid if PBC, you know, wants to bid on it or whatever, and they don't want to work with Top Rank. I guess that would be your interest to do so. So all in all, I'm not holding my breath thinking the fight will happen, but that's just my opinion. And we'll see if my mind will be changed. And if it'll be changed, it'll be on September 14th. Another reason why I'm not betting on this fight and holding my breath for this fight is because Bob Arum already publicly said he would offer Shawn Porter like $1 million. Shawn Porter's team said, no, we're not doing it for $1 million. Shawn Porter is a boxer full-time, made $1 million paychecks over, you know, and he does commentary and he has his own podcast. So he has different business ventures that he dabbles in. Whatever he got paid to do commentary and commentate for Pacquiao Ugas, you know what I mean, it's probably a nice chunk of change, and he's pretty frequent. He also has a gig with Ring City. So he's not and he makes his own suits and all this stuff that you see right here. So he seems pretty frugal. You know, I know Porter. He seems pretty frugal and conscientious of his money. He's not out here buying 40 cars or anything like that I know of. So at the end of the day, he's not starving for cash, which is a good position to be in. So if it's a purse bid, I think they changed the rules to 60-40. But if the bid is $1 million, you get 40% of that, you getting $400K. He ain't gonna fight for $400K. So by default, the fight won't happen, right? So it just depends on the winning bid and those kind of things. But I can tell you, Shawn Porter's not fighting Crawford for no $400K. He already told you he wouldn't fight. He said he's not fighting Crawford for $1 million. So why would he fight for $400K if the winning bid was like 1 million, or if it's like 1.2 million, and then 40% of that is, let's say, 550,000. He's not going to fight for a fight of that magnitude like that, not to my knowledge. So you guys can say what you want, hold your breath if you want. Boxingego will not be doing that. That's my time. Let me know what you guys think. Again, throw a like on the video. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe to the next video. Ego signing off. And I'm out.